Alright, people. So, I told my girlfriend I was going to do this. She had to work today. So, I'm making a video for her. Maybe she can add some to it. We'll see. This channel's hers. It's not mine. So, she does whatever she wants to, and calls the videos whatever she wants to, and shows whatever she wants to. So, I put her radio in. Now that's just one of those cheap $20 Walmart radios. The dual MP3 media player with Bluetooth. I've got one just like it in my car and it works pretty good. And I love the Bluetooth. She also got herself a steering wheel cover and I put it on for her. And a strawberry little tree. So we got Ramona smelling good. And then we also got some oil for it. I filled it up. Best I could figure, it holds 4.5 quarts. I put 4.5 quarts in it. And a few years ago, I bought a box of Champ oil filters, pH 2856A, which I believe, well, there's all the numbers, it's the same, you know. That's an old oil filter, that's like back in the 90s. It's what I run on everything. I refuse to run modern oil filters if I can help it, because they're all thin Chinese crap. So this might be a little newer than that. I believe it says August 6th, 01. Anyway, she's got an oil filter, 4.5 quarts of STP 1040 dinosaur squeezins. Now, I'm going to attempt to get the cam gears off, and that may be fun. I had that head off, as you know, yesterday, and I had an impact up here in a 17mm socket, and I could not get those bolts to turn. They would not turn, and normally they're not in there that good. When I've messed with them, I guess these are still full. You know, these have probably not been out, so they probably still have Loctite on the cam bolts. But I'm going to try to get the cam gears off and replace the oil seals. And when I get them off, I'll show you more. Because what I'm going to attempt to do today is get this motor in time, at least close enough to end time that I can get the valve cover back on it. So back in a second. Alright, so sometimes you gotta get right with it. There's a hex on the cams, but got the gears off, went ahead and took the caps loose and just pulled the seals out, put the new seals in, put the caps back down, made sure everything was level, and tightened it. Should be fine now. Back when I get those back on here. Alright, so the cams are in time for compression on number 1 cylinder. Pretty close to being lined up. You know, I don't have that plastic thing, so I've got to work with zip ties and a timing belt. But heads in time. Now I have to put the crank in time. Now how I did that is, when I put the head on, all 4 pistons were in the middle of the stroke. And now I got to turn the crank to line it up for the balance shaft, and then the crank and the valves are in time with each other. And I don't know why people say you have to decompress the lifters, because I've never done that. Alright, I put the balance shaft belt back on. It's lined up. Intentioned, all that good stuff. Alright, so as you've seen today, I put the radio in it for her steering wheel cover on it for her, put the new cam seals in it, put the cams in time, put the crank back up in time, put the front balance shaft belt on it in time. Now I got to replace one idler for the timing belt, the tensioner assembly with idler, the hydraulic tensioner and timing belt, front timing belt pulley, balancer covers. Finish up the intake and the exhaust manifold, radiator. There's quite a bit left. There's at least 1, possibly 2 more videos. And then I get to change the transmission fluid filter. You know, these Mitsubishi automatics aren't known for working very good. And I'm just hoping that one will last a little bit before we have to do anything to it. Because it'd be nice to be able to put a couple thousand miles on the car, you know. Not expecting that though. I'm hoping for it, but I'm not expecting it. Expect the worst, hope for the best. But valve cover's back on it, and it's a lot cleaner than it was. I know she said in that one video that I always want to get parts for my car and how much better her car is than mine. Well, I'd say she's probably right on saying that her car's better than mine, but they have the same amount of miles on them. And the only thing wrong with mine right now is the fuel tank. You know, they're 28-year-old cars. They're going to have issues. Any old car is going to have an issue. DSMs seem to have more of an issue than others because of, well, really, it's my personal belief. If these cars have been taken care of from the time they were new, they would be just as reliable as any other car. But what happens is even the non-turbo cars, even the base models like my purple one, or the better ones like this car, they were all beat to death, rode hard, put up wet. They were sports cars. They got the shit ran out of them, and nothing is meant to be beat on 24/7. The majority of them got beat on 24/7 and didn't live a very long life because of it. Now some of them did. Some of them did live a pretty long life. But sooner or later they become parts cars. That gold one, people that were working on it didn't know what they were doing, or that car would have still been running. The Talon, I had so many issues out of other people that I decided to let that car be a parts car. that one had been beat on most of its life until it tore up. And when it tore up, it was supposed to be fixed and didn't ever get fixed. However, it still runs and drives fine. Now, you can have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost identical cars. Every one of them first gens, every one of them first gen A's instead of one of them. And they'll all have a different personality. Cars have personalities, and depending on who has them is whether or not that personality continues, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but it does to me. So that's just something I wanted to talk about a little bit. I hope that you know, it's like this video, the next one will be made by Charlie. This one's going on her channel anyway. I just wanted to do something to her car to keep the ball moving, because I'm trying to get the car running. In case there is any car shows at all this year, her car can be next to mine. And people's heads may explode. I don't know. I mean, her car isn't as clean as this one. But can you imagine 2 of them next to each other? Or could you imagine 3 of them next to each other? Now that'd be something to see if you're into DSMs at all and you go to a car show. So, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. God bless. And please subscribe, like, comment to You Had Me at Laser. Bye.